What's the cool?
My new iPad case
Can do that.
can swivel around and it can close.
Oh, then you can carry it like a... Does it detach or just always
No,
stays?
it's always there, but it can lay completely flat. It can flip over. It can turn around. It can do all the things.
Oh no, I don't like this.
It's all the fact that you can't see the screen.
I don't like that at all.
I can see it. I can see that it's on. I can see you moving.
No, but I don't like the fact that I can't just look up and see.
Because the lens is in the way?
Yeah, I'm seeing all lens over here. I can see you and me. Alright, so since we have the sun beating down on us, and soon it's going to be beating down on all three of us, we're going to go. So, here we are, live at 11:25.
Nice. It's
Literally like an hour later than I wanted to be starting.
It's been a while since we've gotten live at a something 5.
Yep, it's true.
We stopped trying at some point.
What is today?
It's our anniversary.
Did we high five?
You high-fived me the minute I woke up.
Yes, I did. I high fived. I told you it was going to be a high five day. And then after that,
It was very sweet.
podcasting. Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
That can be the name of the podcast.
It already is. I really hate the idea that song is in my head now.
You're welcome.
What song?
Do you
Stop. We can't afford it.
No, can't afford it. What song are you talking about?
It's our anniversary.
The Anniversary by
By
Tony.
Tony.
Mm-hmm. And now that song is all the way in my head.
And it's now in your heads too. You're welcome.
Oh,
I don't know the song, so it's not in my head.
I'll play it for you later.
No thanks.
Oh no,
You
gotta
know,
have
because
it.
for a while, it seemed like every black movie that had some kind of anniversary, that song was playing somewhere in there.
Yeah.
And you didn't even have to play, because there was a long instrumental in that song, and you didn't even have to play the word part of the song. You could just play the very beginning.
Yeah.
Do, and man, it was over. Everybody had the song in their head at that point.
Yep.
That was all the cue you needed inside of some movie or thing. So, yeah, there's that. Hopefully it's not too windy. It's kind of windy today. We're back outside. As you can see, the sun is beating down on me, and soon it's going to be beating down on him, and then it's going to work its way over there
Which
to
is
the
why I
headed
have
one.
on a hat.
And
Because
you
I'm
have
delicate.
hats?
I have a hat. It's beautiful.
Yeah, okay.
Go
It's
green.
not, and it's slightly yellowing.
It's literally not. No, you said it's yellowing.
Yeah.
No, it's just freaking old.
The white on this part is not white anymore.
Of course not.
It's been in a box for 10 years.
Come on now. Anyway, so all my makeup is gonna run off because we get made up before these things.
Makeup.
The only one with makeup.
Soon I'm gonna need a little powder and a little touch up because of the sitting in the hot.
Finally, you have your hot light.
It's the hot light.
The Deathrow one.
Yeah.
The
The
hot
single hot
light.
light. Yeah.
Yes, it's finally happened. All right.
Do you have a list?
I have a sort of list.
Do you have a list?
I have a list of the things that I had put on for last week that I previewed last week for this week and beyond.
Because you didn't feel like talking about them last week.
Yeah, and I kind of don't feel like talking about them this week, but we'll see if we can tackle one or two and try to get away before the sun gets all the way over to Karen.
That's a good idea.
Because I can take the heat. He can take the heat. He burns, but he can take it. But
I'm literally in the middle of both of you.
literally can't take the heat at all.
So
Like, you'll watch the
The steam start rising.
yeah, you'll see the waves of the heat waves
start
coming off of
shriveling.
her, and she'll be like, "I'm melting."
well,
All right.
on that note, roll the intro.
Oh my, what was that?
The hands are back.
Oh wait. That was something we didn't need to relive.
It's back.
That was-
You're welcome.
That was really not
Thanks for
necessary.
putting on deodorant this morning. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I know. Because you gonna be throwing hands around. You gotta make sure that the deodorant has been done.
I only forgot yesterday.
Yeah, well,
Don't do that.
don't ever do that. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, my coffee. Oh,
Coffee.
this cannot happen.
We'll be right back after these commercial messages.
We have no commercials.
We can make up something.
Well, then get to it.
Just have Daddy put in the R. Kelly music video.
No. All women. No. That ain't. No. That is not something that should happen. No.
That should always happen. It should be viewed.
This is where he puts in the polka.
Oh, not the that's worse.
It's the funky polka.
Do a. I just posted that. Do a remix of the R. Kelly thing with funky polka.
No.
No, because I'm not gonna sit there and do all that editing that it would take to throw his foot. Nah, that ain't gonna happen. Not from me. You can do it. You got the same software. I use it every day.
But that's not what I would use to make a remix. I'd use GarageBand to do that.
No.
Yeah, to do
You
a
need
song.
no, because forget the song. You gotta have the video with it. It's not funny without the video. If you just had the music, that's not it. You need him saying, "I love all
Yeah,
the
yeah,
women."
yeah.
You need to see it. That's the only way that works well.
Nobody needs to see that ever again.
Oh yes, yes. Everybody needs to see that video.
And you laugh every single time you
I
watch
laugh
it.
when I just think about it.
I wonder how many views that has. Let's check.
Anyway, do you have anything on your? You don't even have your iPad awake yet.
It had an update.
It had an update. See, what had happened was.
It got updated for the case, and then it had an update. So it's updating.
Yeah, it's updated. I had this thing. It was something about. It was because a city in North Carolina came out and talked about doing reparations. Why is my link not going?
Where's your link not linking? Boy. That sun may be a little faster than.
I
us.
told you. It's coming on.
All right.
It's moving
Did you
fast.
attach to the internet?
That's what the
to the
problem
brand new
is.
internet.
I did not.
Oh, you can do it.
I have not done that. We got new
You're welcome.
We got new interwebs, and this thing was not being used. So let's do that. Wi-Fi. You don't have a thing.
It's not letting me share.
You know the password?
Didn't you make the map?
I did. So I do,
Well, that's always handy.
and I'm done.
Great.
Maybe it's because your iPad is so old that we can't share.
Yeah, that could
share
be.
the password with you.
Share the knowledge.
Yeah.
I jumped back into the share the knowledge this week.
Share the knowledge.
Yeah, DJ TLM's got a thing where he's been doing for years about share the knowledge. So, he learns it, he passes it on to other people. And I jumped back into that. He's got a podcast, so now I can just do the podcast. Because basically when he does the podcast, he's not doing any of the DJing or anything. He's just sitting there. So then I can just listen to that.
Gotcha. Well,
All right, so
reparations.
I wonder if it'll work this time. No, it's still not going. It's got a link. It is a link. It's not even. It's not acting like a link, which is interesting.
It needs to get some act right.
Oh, wait. Open link. There, go up.
It needs to fix
So,
itself.
what do you think about reparations? Should black folks get reparations for slavery in the United States? Go.
Yes.
How do you do that?
No. I'm not asking that question yet. Should it happen?
Well, sure.
Well, sure. That's the answer. Yes, and well, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, now, how do we do that?
What did you say? Something in the trillions? If they actually
I don't
tried
care.
to
I mean,
give
that's
the money.
that's actually irrelevant. We spend trillions on defense.
Yeah.
Okay? We've borrowed trillions from China for things like defense. Not for schools, but for defense.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no. Asheville, North Carolina. They were the ones that this story is from July 16th. They voted to provide reparations to black residents and their descendants, the descendants of slaves in their community, which is interesting because if you live there and move away, do you still get this? If you moved in and you weren't from this part of the country, do you get? I mean, it's kind of a weird thing. I don't know how that works.
It's a little weird.
Hopefully, Cam 2 over there is not getting beat up by the wind too much.
Oh yeah, that.
I'm sure
You're gonna
it's
have to cut that audio.
I'm sure it's wiggling a little bit.
Oh, it's wiggling a lot of it.
What do you mean I have to cut the audio? We don't use that audio.
Oh,
What is wrong with you?
it's pointing over.
The audio is right there in front of you, looking at you.
See it?
Yeah, I think we might have to make a check.
It's pointing over there.
Well, we need to do a wellness check, and we're not calling the cops.
What?
Good idea.
Ambient movement. It's like the perspective of a tree.
So, what would let me just ask this question, and we can go to a different topic. What would be the best way to affect reparations? Would money, like just straight check, or something else? What do you think?
I think a combination.
You got to talk to the mic people.
I'm talking.
No, you're talking to me. You got to talk
Oh.
to them. They're over there.
I think a combination of cash and actions.
What actions? That's kind of what I'm getting at.
Free healthcare, no taxes. I don't know what else. I
Free
doesn't
healthcare,
affect me.
no taxes.
I don't know.
Well,
No
not true.
taxes
It could potentially
and
affect
a
you
plot of land.
Well, because I have 3 people
Well, I
in
mean,
my household.
what? You want them 40 acres again?
Well, that's
What about the mule?
That's what you and Grandma were talking about when you brought this question up before.
I'm saying, you want the 40 acres and a mule?
Sure.
Really? Could you give every descendant of slaves
No.
40 acres and a mule inside of the United States that's
No.
actually good land?
No.
I don't know if you couldn't. I don't know how much land that actually is.
I don't know. I think the no taxes thing would be good though.
I bet you that you give no taxes as part of the reparations, and all those people who do the 23andMe and the Ancestry.com who has 10%, 11%, 18%, because I know several of them who claim that they are not black, even though they have 18% African.
Yeah, they'll be in there.
They'll say, "Oh, now I want to be
Of
a part of
course.
that,"
Well, that
but
then,
you don't want to claim it before
but
that.
it doesn't matter about claiming though. Do you have a legacy of slavery in your past? Now, here's another problem with that. There were white slaves.
Yeah.
So this reparations has nothing to do with those people either. It excludes them. These kinds of reparations that people are talking about are not reparations for just being slaves, but for being black and being slaves.
Yeah.
So there is an issue there, but there are plenty of people that are descendants of black folks that were descendants of slaves, and today walk around either not knowing or knowing that they have a black person in their past.
Right.
Now, if that's the case, why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they get what everybody else got? Because they are
Yeah.
descendants of slaves, just like I am. And he is. Why would you, how could you consciously exclude anyone from that list. It's kind of like the whole thing that happened with Native Americans when Native Americans, when there was some kind of benefit to being Native American, all of a sudden white folks came out of the woodwork,
Yeah.
being Native American and they were descendants of Native Americans. Should they be able to get those benefits?
I think that's why they made it. You had to be a quarter. You had to prove.
But only one drop made you black, though.
Right.
So if one drop made you black.
I have
So
a friend-
if we were back in the slave times, and that child was born, they would have been treated as black. They
Right.
would have, but 400 years later, that child is born, and all of a sudden they're not black anymore.
I have a friend
I have a problem with that.
whose I think it was her mother's test or her grandmother's test came back with 18% African American, and hers came back with 11%. And I looked at her and I said, "So that means you're black?" And she's like, "No, I'm not." And I said,
Oh,
"Yeah."
nobody wants to be black.
I said, "That one drop rule is, you got more than one drop, you got 11%."
Yeah, but that's the problem. That's the problem that I think
And
everybody
she had never
has
heard
at
of
this
it.
point.
She'd never heard of the one drop rule.
Okay, that means she's an idiot.
No.
Yes,
That
because
makes
I'm
it-
sorry, that is taught. Because
It's
that
not
one
taught.
that is taught in at least high school and probably middle school because there was legislation based on it.
It was not taught in my high school.
Okay. That was, I mean, that's literally because in order to count people for what's happening now, the census, in order to count people, which I don't think they had the census back during slave times, but they did count people for representation in the House of Representatives. In order to do that, they had to make a distinction because black folks were only two-thirds of a person. So they had to know. They had the rule. It is part of our politics.
It is.
So, yeah, I don't know about the reparations thing. I think now, I think maybe dismantling all of the institutional racism would probably be better, but then you're going to have to, first acknowledge that it's there, because a lot of people still don't do that. And then after that acknowledgement, you're going to have to deal with how do we deal with banking? How do we deal with mortgages? How do we deal with where people live? How do we deal with schooling and how we fund schooling and blah blah blah? All of these things. And basically, you got to tear down just about every system inside of the United States and abroad in order to revamp it in some way, shape, or form that actually makes sense.
Right.
And you're talking something that's going to take a very long time. So then, that leads me to then just do the money thing.
Yeah.
But I think I think what they're doing in Asheville, there's a business component to this. There's something that because it's just one city,
Yeah.
they can go in and be like literally change all of those things. They could do it in a city. The problem is it's much more difficult to make it federally mandated
Right.
because too many people are making way too much money on the fact of the status quo not changing.
Right.
So, whether the status quo is there because of racism or discrimination or not, it doesn't matter. The fact is, people have adapted to that system, and they are well off because of it. How are you going to undo that? Are you going to go and get that money back? Are you going to pull the FDR and tax the super rich?
Right.
50, 60, 70, 80% of their wealth. I mean, if you do, you know what's going to happen. They're either going to hide it or they're going to run away from the United States.
Which they already hide it.
So, there is that. I don't know. Reparations, I guess that's just going to be an ongoing thing. People are talking about it again. What's going to happen with it, I'm not really sure.
We're making things.
If you want to follow the The Traveling Fars. You can find us at the YouTube, Facebook, Pinterest, iTunes, Spotify, and anywhere sexy podcasts are sold.
Sexy.
At The Traveling Fars.
Sexy podcast. Sexy.
If you like the Instagram and the Twitters, Traveling Fars. If you want to send Karen an email, travelingfars@gmail.com, and the blog space, thetravelingfars.blueberry.net. No E's in the blueberries.
Did you mention Patreon?
That's his job.
Oh,
Wow.
You stepping on
Way to
his...
steal the thunder,
I'm
man.
sorry.
You're stepping on his
Hit it.
Patreon.
Wow.
Hit it.
Also go to patreon.com/thetravelingfars. Give us your money. Do it now.
And where else can they give money?
At the GoFundMe.
At the GoFundMe.
GoFundMe.
It's called GoFundMe.
GoFundMe.com. And the campaign is the Traveling Fars.
No, actually, it's not.
What is it?
The campaign is GoFundMe move-to-Poland. That is what it actually is. Move to Poland. Because whoever made it, that's what they said.
What it asks for.
Right.
I gave it what it
I have a
asked
feeling that,
It's what it asked for.
she did that.
I did exactly
Because
that.
if you do a copy link from them, it's like gobbledygook.
Really?
Yes. So you have to, if you put in GoFundMe and then like GoFundMe/the Traveling Fars, I think it will come to us. If you do GoFundMe and then the move_to_Poland, it will go to us. But what I do is just go to GoFundMe and then do a search for the Traveling Fars. That's easiest.
Here, and I'll put the link in the description.
No? Well, the link is there, but like I said, it's garbage. The link that comes from them.
Why not just do a share link?
That's
That's
the
what the link does.
information that it gives. It gives that. Because when people share it on social media, it brings up the photo that then you can click on. So nobody cares about what the link says.
But there's no photo in a YouTube description.
Gotcha.
That's true. There is no photo. So we're out of here.
Bye, people. Have a great day.
Peace!
I'm burning.
Run away!
See? 58 degrees.
Wow, not 65?
50.
It's hotter inside of a building with windows and across windows
And no sun.
than being outside directly.
But the camera itself is hot. But that's the outside.
The case itself is hot.
Yep. Yep. Yep.